Hey guys, I wanted to show you today how I do my New Orleans style red beans and rice in my Instant Pot digital pressure cooker. In front of me I have all the ingredients that I use. You got your rice and beans, which is your basic, some of your other seasoning, green bell pepper, yellow onion, garlic, green onion, celery. Got a little bit of bay leaves here, black peppercorn, kosher salt, and then I use smoked sausage and seasoned ham. Measuring cup, and I've got my pan for my rice. I do my rice separate. I don't put that in the pressure cooker. So I'm going to readjust the camera, and we'll get cooking. Hopefully you can see this. It's the first time I'm using this camera here. Go ahead and cut up our vegetables, our seasonings, and get it ready for the pot. It's the first thing that I do. And if some of these ingredients are something you don't like, you can feel free to leave them out or add to it, add your own. This is just how I do mine. I like them. Tiny kitchen here, so kind of have to bear with the space that I have. Shuffle things around. Alright, let's put that in. I don't know if you can see over there when I'm doing this, just putting the seasonings into the pot, the Instant Pot pressure cooker. I like to use this to get the core out of the bell pepper. It makes it easier. I just rinsing out the seeds there in the bell pepper. Everything's been pre-washed. All the vegetables were pre-washed. Now on your bell peppers, you can leave them big if you want. I like to cut them small. The pressure cooker is just going to kind of make everything disintegrate anyway, so it doesn't really matter how big or small you make them. That's up to you. Again, all this stuff's been pre-washed. you cut your onions. I like to cut mine like that. A lot of the cooking shows and things I've seen say if you just chop the stem off and leave the root intact, and then cut it in half like this, pole to pole is what they call it, and then it tends not to burn your eyes also. So that's a good trick that I like to use. And then I just take and cut 2 slits in them like this. Again, you really don't need to be too concerned about size, because in the pressure cooker everything's just going to kind of disintegrate anyway. Just cut these off the edges, and there's not much waste. And I'll do the same thing over here. 2 slits. And into the pressure cooker those go. And now we got our little cloves of garlic. Mash those up. Throw those in. Everybody's got their own method on how to peel garlic. I find this the easiest way. Pick them apart or leave them whole. Again, in the pressure cooker, it's all going to pretty much disintegrate anyway. So one of the nice things about using a pressure cooker to cook is that it saves you a lot of time. It saves you time. It also saves you energy, you know, because when I cooked red beans and rice before I had the pressure cooker, I say it took easily 5 hours. You know, and you got your stove going. With the pressure cooker, you don't have to worry about that. So it's a real nice tool to have. Alright, we're gonna next step we do is open up the beans and add the beans. Before you do that, you're gonna want to put your beans in a strainer. And rinse them cold. I don't soak them. I just take and rinse them cold and put them in the pressure cooker. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, for this next step, I don't know if you can see me or not, hopefully you can see the Instant Pot. Next step, what we do, we rinse the beans in cold water. So we're going to go ahead and add those in. Alright, and so now you have your seasonings and your beans in there. You want to fill the pot you want to fill it just above where all your ingredients are. You don't want to put too much water in here, otherwise your beans will come out running, and you don't want to put too little because then your pot won't come up to pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and top that off. Sorry about the dishwasher running in the background. I'm trying to multitask today. I took the day off. So now that you have that filled, you just slide it in. I've got my salt and pepper right here behind you. What I like to do is I add salt. You can add salt after if you want, because I have over salted them before. But I go ahead and add my salt now. I just kind of know how much to add from cooking them so many times. If you don't want to use salt, you can use anything else you decide you want to use. But if you're not comfortable using the salt while you're cooking them, like I said, you can add it after. I've over salted them a few times, and then you got a ruined batch of beans. And I like to use fresh pepper. Whatever you want to use works. So you got your salt, your pepper, your seasonings, and your beans in there. And next, right here behind you, we got the bay leaves, okay? I use 2 or 3. This is a small batch, it's only 1 bag. Everything you see me doing, you can, if you want to make bigger batches, just double it, triple it, however much you want to make. Alright, so that's it for the first part. You're going to do this in 2 parts. The reason why that is because your meat is going to cook quicker, so I just go ahead and do this first. Hit the bean button and then adjust your time up to 45 minutes. Alright, and that's it. Let it build up pressure and steam. Let it go. Once it builds up pressure, it'll start counting down. 45 minutes, and then it'll be time to add the meats. So I'll see you then. Okay, so the Instant Pot's on warm mode now. As you can see, it's been warming for 19 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and release the steam manually here, and we're going to cover it up with a dish towel so the steam doesn't blow up onto the cabinets. That'll let the pressure out of the pressure cooker, and then we're going to add our ham and our sausage. Process usually just takes about a minute or so. Once the steam lets out, I'll open it up and let you see what it looks like inside. And what we're waiting for is you want to wait until that little pin drops down. You can see right there. Once that pin drops down, and it unlocks the pressure cooker, and you can open the top. And there it is. The good thing about these Instant Pots is that the top has these little ears on them, and you can just hook it there, so you're not really looking for a place to put your top. Makes it really handy. And that's what they look like at this state. We're going to go ahead and cut up all of our meats, and we'll add our meats, and then we're going to put it back on. We'll reset it again. Same thing with the bean mode for 45 minutes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add the seasoning, the meat seasoning. Open this up. We're going to dump this whole, or maybe about half this of ham into the Instant Pot. And then I'm going to take my sausage and slice it up and throw it in. And again, you can use some of this if you want. If you want to take some of it out and do it your own way, you can. This is just how I like to do mine. And I like to slice the sausage kind of sideways like that. Again, however you want to do it, it's up to you. Alright, so we take our meat and put it in 45 minutes again on the Instant Pot. And then you got your red beans and rice. Alright, so now that you got your meat in there, just go ahead and stir it up. kind of get it situated in between everything, so it evenly flavors once you turn the machine back on. Take your top, put it back on, and then up here, remember this steam button, we turn to steaming. You want to now put it on, or we turn it to venting, you now want to put it on, what's it say? Sealing. You want to put it on sealing, alright? The pot's already warmed up now that we did that first step, and so it will come to pressure a lot quicker because it's heated up inside of there. You're just going to hit bean again. I'm sorry, you're going to go off, and you're going to hit bean, and same thing, go to 45 minutes. It'll do everything else on its own. Once it builds pressure, your vent valve will pop back up, the lid will lock, and then you wait 45 minutes and your beans are done. I usually wait till it gets down to about 18 minutes, either 20 minutes or 18 minutes, and then I'll start doing my rice on the stove. So we'll get back to that. Alright, so the last 45 minutes is up. We can go ahead and let the steam out once again. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put some rice on my plate. As you can see, the warmer has been on for 3 minutes. Once the steam goes away on this Instant Pot, then your venting safe knob will go down and you can open it up. We'll see what the beans look like. This will be my first video that I'm uploading to YouTube, so if you liked it, please click on like. If you didn't, that's fine too. And feel free to add any comments you like. And if you'd like to subscribe, I'll be bringing more videos, not just on cooking, but other interests that I have in life if you're interested. And steam's almost finished now. When it finishes, like I said earlier, you can see, you'll be able to see that little pin on the right hand side drop down, and what that does is it releases the safety mechanism so you can open the top. This Instant Pot, it's a really good brand. It's a really good a good thing. Like I said, it saves you time as well as money with, you know, cooking for hours over a stove, and you can kind of set it and walk away from it, which is nice. And it'll just go into warming mode. You'll have that L, which I guess means low. Okay, it'll just go into warming mode automatically, and you can let it sit there and warm until you got time to come back to it. So that pin just dropped. What we'll do is go ahead and open it up. The meat tends to float at the top. So what I like to do is just take my ladle and stir it up a bit. You see some of the vegetables, the celery particularly, stayed kind of whole, some pieces of them. So if you don't like it, you can pick it out, or you can cut them into smaller pieces like I said before. But this is how they come out. You can add more water or less water depending on what consistency you're looking for, but these come out really nice. Instead of taking 4 or 5 hours cooking on the stove, you can do it here in an hour and a half plus you know your steam time. And another cool thing is you can leave this thing on warm for the rest of the afternoon into the next day, and they'll thicken up and get a little bit more creamy. But they tend to taste better the longer you leave them in, because I guess the seasoning permeates. So I'll go ahead and show you me plating this, plating it up. And there you have it. That's my version of New Orleans red beans and rice. I hope you enjoyed, and I know we will be.